Sirius XM Sports presents At the Races with Steve Byk. Horse racing, handicapping, interviews, taking you inside the sport of kings. This is At the Races with Steve Byk.
Let's kind of dance around and fill out this first segment live from Gulfstream Park. Stay here for a minute and talk about the Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. A big upset as Mucho Mas Macho, the Macho Uno for Henry Collazo. What a nice win for him. Juan Leyva aboard. Speaking of Calder jocks and local riders, Juan Leyva gets a very nice win. And this was certainly a trip race. We talked about it on Friday with any number of our handicapping guests. You had to know that some horses were going to be encountering traffic and finding trouble. Well, certainly Sky Blazer, who honestly may be the most unlucky horse, and in fact may even be cursed. It's I don't know how else to put it, but Sky Blazer, every single chance that Joel Rosario, who of course is riding spectacularly well, every decision Rosario tried to make met with a wall of horses or a closing hole or a tiring horse. It was just a series of what has to be a maddening scenario for Sky Blazer and for Barclay Tagg. And I don't know what I guess you just keep soldiering forward. In the meantime, Juan Leyva took a clear path and absolutely waited, and when he swung out and ran everybody down, including Tiz Sardonic Joe, who turned in another strong performance. Big Blue Kitten was next. Vicky Sandcastle ran okay and was a non-threatening fourth in here. And I suppose the big disappointment was 50 Proof, who on the lead had absolutely no excuse and basically just, I don't want to say folded, but it's probably the right terminology in this particular case, because they were honest fractions. I mean, you can't say that they go 46 for the half and I think 110 and change for 3/4, and that is serious enough going the mile and a 16th. But the way this grass course has been, there's been plenty of horses that have been able to, basically control it from there. So the big upset, and 41-1, an $85 mutual, and certainly those that played Beat the Host. It was a cap horse. They cap at 20-1, but the Beat the Host players that had Mucho Mas Macho did quite well. And of course, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. Henry Collazo is out banging the peg around, playing some golf, but we're going to talk to him for a couple of minutes because his win was out of this world on Saturday. A great win for his team, and I want to congratulate him and hear from him. And
Destination Unknown. Now, back to At the Races with Steve Byk on Sirius XM Radio.
I left my job, my boss, my car, and my home. I'm leaving for a destination I still don't know. Somewhere nobody must have duties at all. And if you like this, you can follow me. So let's go.
Let's go. We're back at Gulfstream Park, and going to take just a couple of minutes because Henry Collazo is out playing golf, and I don't want to take away. It was a wonderful weekend for Henry's and for Signal Hill Farms, because on Saturday we win the Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale. Here is Mucho Mas Macho, who was brilliantly ridden by Juan Leyva, sat pretty in the back of the pack, came running and got past them all up at the wire under Juan Leyva. And Henry, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I'm just delighted for you. And this is one of those races where I always employ Mr. Jerkin's great line about grass racing, where one horse wins and 6 should have.
Yeah, but it's not like we had an easy time of it. I mean, we had to circle the field, and we had to do some really serious running because there were some nice horses in front of us, and it just it vindicates how good this horse really is, and a lot of people didn't take him for granted. I mean, I'm sure the general public thought there were much better horses in that race and this, that, and the other. But push comes to shove, I think my horse overcame a lot of adversity when he blew by them all. And that day, I don't think no one could have beat him.
You look down, and we talked earlier to Phil Gleaves, and of course these two met up in that Tropical Park Derby which came off the turf. But you look at at Mucho's races, and it's pretty clear that he's adjusts to almost any kind of a pace. Even when the paces are a little slow, he puts in a run. And when the turf course is set up the way it was on Saturday, and this race was run with the rail down at 12 feet, the horses on the outside, it's much easier for them like it was yesterday when they use the 84, and when it's out in the middle, the outside posts have a much better chance to rally. The fact that he rallied from the 9-hole with the rails in is really a testimony, and it plays into what you're saying that that he was much the best.
No, I'm glad you agree with me because I think the world of this horse.
How did Signal Hill come by this horse? Because I do remember when Joe Aquilino had him up in New York last year as a 2-year-old, I think.
Well, what happened was it just isn't cost effective to get insured for one race in New York. Between the workman's comp and all the hoops you have to jump through, New York doesn't make it very appealing for anybody to come in for just one day. So Joe's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years, and he did me the favor by letting me run the horse in his name.
Okay, and, when he ran in the Remsen.
Right. At that time, I knew the horse wanted distance, but my main thought was, who knows if he's going to take to the dirt. I mean, you really don't know a horse's strictly grass until you tried all the surface, and then you really know which surface is best suited for a horse. So, everybody can say what they want, but until you test the waters, you really don't know what the temperature is.
Well, now, this was, if you had a chance to see the figure, I mean, from a figure standpoint, a career best, and, here's the start of a 4-year-old year. There's plenty of opportunities. Talk about, what you see coming up.
Well, I try to keep my mind on the next step. I really don't, I've got a goal and I got a direction I'm looking forward to going in, but for the reality of things, I just got to take it one step at a time. And the first one was he came out of the race sharp and sound, and then I've got the next 2 races on the horizon, and after that, we reevaluate because every day is a new day.
Well, it was the first win for you of the meet, and so it's great to break through in a Grade 2 like this. And this was a horse that was a modest OBS 2-year-old in training purchase originally, $19,000, and here he is, up over $200,000 in earnings, and it just seems that he continues to improve as he gets older. And of course, Macho Uno has got to be pretty happy at Adena Springs to have a horse like Mucho Macho Man on one side on the main track, and maybe Mucho Mas Macho is going to make a case for Macho Uno as a grass sire too. Everybody's happy.
I couldn't be any happier for Kathy. She deserves a nice running horse, and I'm surely glad that we don't meet up with each other because I don't think this horse deserves to be up against his older brother. But for the most part, it's a special time right now. And, from the very first time I saw the horse at the sales and I looked in his eyes, I knew he was special. And I'm just, so happy to be vindicated. And, the gentleman that bought him, Mr. Donahue, Dan's been a fantastic owner, and without him, I wouldn't have been able to do what I've been able to do with this horse, because he's been 100% behind us.
Now, to me, it's always great when the Calder-based guys have the kind of success that we're seeing, and whether it's Juan Leyva and Luis Saez and you and Phil Gleaves, whatever. You guys operate year-round and under tough conditions, and then here comes the Gulfstream meet, and big outfits come in from all over the country, and it has to feel great to win a race like this in a spot like this.
Oh, you can't believe how good it feels. It's almost like hitting the lottery.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to the golf, and Henry, we'll see you here over the next few weeks. Just delighted for you and the owners, Mucho Mas Macho, and obviously the bettors. 2 races in a row in the 40-1 range, 39-1 when he was second in the McKnight. That wasn't enough for people. They didn't believe, and maybe they'll believe now and next time.
Yep. I think we won't be overlooked.
I love it. Henry Collazo, thanks so much.
Thank you. A pleasure. Have a good day.
Thank you. And we'll be back with you tomorrow at the races live from Gulfstream Park.